Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Now, you're looking at the so-called whistleblower, but when you're in the know, you understand that this is bigger than a whistleblower. See, now let's get what's the problem. See, she said we have evidence from a variety of sources that hate speech. Okay, that exposes everything. Divisive political speech and misinformation. Now, the people that's presenting the truth on social media, they are being under attack and censored. And when they present the truth turns into hate speech. The truth turns into political, divisive speech, and it turns into misinformation. So you instantly understand why they shut the situation down. Then this happened 20 hours ago, last night. The next day that this lady, so-called from Facebook, they shut the situation down when she come out as a so-called whistleblower. And now they're so concerned about it. Now, Social Dilemma came out 2020, and they made Social Dilemma even before that. But Facebook didn't shut down. See, no social media peoples had a problem. The society didn't have nothing to say. Nobody was making any kind of noise. They watched the movie and they went on about their business. Back to business as usual. Everything is the same. But now that they're pushing their agenda to the 10th power, and now that the truth is coming out about why they are the devil and why they are trying to exterminate the nation of Israel, now they shuts the highway down. See, it wasn't no problems with all this wickedness flowing until the truth start coming out, exposing their wickedness, telling the people that they are the wicked, they are the problem of the world, they are the disease. See, when they began to be attacked, not as a social site, not as a website, but when their nation was starting to be attacked, when their nation was starting to be exposed, that's when they shut the situation down. Now, what nation is we talking about? Let me get that. Let's go into the scriptures. Here we go. Jeremiah 49, verse 7. It says concerning Edom. Verse 7 says, concerning Edom, thus says the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is the counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? See, they wasn't wise enough to know that if you open up information and you take the handcuffs off of the people, that you couldn't hide yourself anymore. If you take your mask off and you walk around town as a criminal and a fugitive, the police is going to identify you. See, they wasn't wise enough to know this. See, the Edomites, they allowed information to flow freely. That wasn't a wise situation. That wasn't a prudent situation. Because this is what they was trying to do the whole time in verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, his brethren, his neighbors, and he is not going to be able to hide himself. But his wisdom had him hiding himself for a long time. You couldn't write a book without his permission. You couldn't make a movie without his permission. You couldn't make an album or a music album or any kind of information. You couldn't spread it without his permission and his backing, because He gives you the loans and the money to do whatever you need to do in his kingdom. So they allow a free falling information to come through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, any other kind of website where the public can communicate with each other and talk to the people. They allowed this thing to open up. Now the military, the head of the military said it straight up. That was the worst decision they ever made. But they didn't understand who is controlling them. Now let's get that in Proverbs. See, they thinking that's why they so prideful, because they was attempting to hide themselves, not understanding this. Proverbs 21 verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it wheresoever he will. See, they didn't understand that God controlled their mind. He has control to make them do things that they wouldn't normally do. That's why he asked the question, is wisdom no more in teaching? So where's the wisdom in these people? You mean to tell me that they're going to allow themselves to be found? They're going to expose themselves to the world? Because they kept the world in darkness. Let's get that in Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60 and 2, it says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. See, the people was in gross darkness listening to the information that these Edomites was pushing. But now they open up social media, and now they're exposing their wickedness, their history, the atrocities that they've been doing on a daily, yearly, decade, century. See, they've been doing these things, and now people can talk about it freely. Where's the wisdom in that? See, you got to be a fool. But the Lord promised to do this to them. Let's get that in Psalm 64. He promised to do this to these people. Let me get right to the point. He said, Psalm 64 and 7, but God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly they shall be wounded. Verse 8, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And mainly because the people didn't understand that their elites was trying to hide their true identity. They hid it from their own people. The own people didn't know who they were to even try to hide something. They didn't understand their own history. That's how much darkness that they was pushing. They hid their history from their own people. So when the history started coming out, the people didn't lift up an eyebrow. The people didn't find it silly or dangerous for them to let out information freely. Jeremiah 16 and 19. O Lord, my strength, my fortress, my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles, talking about these Edomites, the so-called white man, shall come unto thee from the end of the earth, and they shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity. See, the children inherited lies. They wasn't taught their history. They wasn't taught where they come from, where they descend from. What was the history of their people? They wasn't taught these things. So they would make a foolish decision in letting information go out freely. They didn't understand that their people's been hiding their identity. That's why they call themselves white. See, they just call themselves a color. That's not, they don't have any history to it. And even the history that it does have, that's even a bad history. But this history goes back thousands of years. But they didn't let this out publicly. And just like the Lord said and prophesied, that they're going to come from everywhere and realize we have been taught lies. See? And that's what the situation is. And so this lady, she not whistleblowing nobody. She is not whistleblowing nobody. They sent this lady to bring up some kind of excuse so they can shut down the highway of information. They put a roadblock and a dam in the flowing of information, so they can depend on their media. They can isolate the media where only they can bring out their false information. See, now they're saying, oh, we knew that it was dangerous to the young girls, but we didn't say anything. It was dangerous to the children, but we didn't say anything. We let it go on, and we made all kind of contracts and deals with people, and we didn't want to go back on those contracts because of the safety of the children. But we knew about it. See, they're going to bring that information, but now you don't have a counter. You don't have a counter to reach the people in the speed that Facebook and Instagram reach the people. See, information hit the people faster through Facebook and Instagram because more people is dealing with that than on YouTube. You see, people go on YouTube for specific things. They don't just randomly run into information. But on Facebook, you run into information randomly. You don't even be thinking about it, and your friends pop it up to you. You talk and communicate with more people. See, and so they had to shut those things down specifically soon, and they presented this lady to seem like she was the problem. She came and whistleblowed, and then they go along with the excuse, and she presented the excuse for them because she tells you why. She say the misinformation. That misinformation is the truth coming out. They always say it's misinformation when it's the truth. They fact check it and say, oh, we fact checked it, and it comes back that wasn't true. But every time it's true. They say it's a conspiracy theory. Misinformation, hate speech, conspiracy theory, everything coming out about these dragons because they let the highway open. They open up the highway of information. And now them saying misinformation don't work. Them saying conspiracy theory ain't working. See, them saying all these things is not working and helping their cause. They got to go back to the old days where they control information. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.